Got a 68 Camaro. Couple spot repairs.
Well, we're going to need a couple of those.
It's all done. All in a day's work.
On a production spot job, you do not want to start with 40 grit sandpaper, especially sanding into the existing paint. You only prime once, and you don't want to be chasing out any deep scratches. At bare minimum, start with 80 grit. When you're doing a spot repair, feather back your paint farther than the repair because you want your filler onto the bare metal. Then you proceed to sand till it's flat. Then on your final coat of polyglaze, extend the filler onto the painted surface. It's very important to cut all the way through the filler. These two sides move independently under high torque. In the end, it'll be seam sealed, then painted.
To work on this side, I have to take out this window molding. To use a window trim removal tool, you have to push back these clips that way. What you do is slip the tool under the molding like so, and slide it along until you feel a little tug from the clip, and then twist it like so, and pull up on the molding.
Not only am I taking out the 80 grit scratches on the filler, I'm being mindful in extending my strokes over to any 80 grit scratch onto the paint to buffer those out as well.
Welcome to Tool Review. Today I'll be reviewing a couple Ingersoll Rand tools, a Steck stud lever, and a Roper Whitney sheet metal hole punch. So let's get down to business. First up is a Steck stud lever. I don't know where I'd be without this thing. What you do is you take your stud gun, weld into your pin on the dent, then put the pin in this hole and switch the lever. At that point, you can lift up the dent and hammer the brows or your high spots. You can spin it around 360 and hammer down all your high spots. And when you're done, take it off and toss it on the floor. This thing is strong. You can take a beating. And what I really like about this is my processes include very thorough metalworking. A lot of bosses, managers, they don't see progress until they see mud on the car, so they overlook the importance of good metalwork. If you do good metalwork, you're eliminating a lot of time in the mud process, and you're eliminating any unforeseeable problems that could hold you back, like say a hood that you just can't get straight. If you metalwork it right, it will be straight. And with this tool, I eliminate a lot of time in the metalwork process, so I get the job that I want to get done, and the manager isn't breathing down my neck because I'm not taking too long doing it. So I love this tool. Next up is the Roper Whitney Jr. hand punch. Made in the USA. Unlike pneumatic air punches, this has a set of different sized dies for different sized holes. What I don't like about pneumatic air punches is that the holes are really small. And when you have small holes, you don't have good penetration and good strength in your welds. So, with a 9/32 hole, I can get my good strength, good penetration, and good looking welds. Also, what I don't like about pneumatic air punches is the depth. They don't give you a lot of depth. So that means that when you punch your holes, they'll be really close to the edge. So close to the edge that you're worrying about heat burning that edge and creating more work. With this, you could set your depth gauge anywhere to a little bit over 1.5 inches, which is perfect. So say if I did a rocker and had to do 20 plug holes, I could set my depth and go along the rocker flange, and in the end, all the holes will be perfect. So this is worth it for $80. Next up is the Ingersoll Rand 317A high-speed sander. I don't know why they call this a sander, because to me it's a grinder. It has a regulator on the side, and I keep that all the way up at all times. I had a Craftsman sander grinder just like this, and it always bogged down. So at that point I realized when it comes to a tool like this, you can't get a cheap one because they're all going to bog down. So I went ahead and got an Ingersoll Rand tool and haven't looked back since. This is a great tool. It doesn't bog down and it gets the job done fast. The next tool up is the Ingersoll Rand Model 429 air saw. My first experience with the air saw was with the Harbor Freight one, so it wasn't a very good one. Oftentimes I'd find myself bogging down on 18 gauge steel and it just wasn't getting anything done. With the Ingersoll Rand, I could cut through 2 pieces of 18 gauge steel like a hot knife through butter. I highly recommend this air saw. It's very great. I don't use it all the time, but when I do, it comes in handy. Last but not least, the Ingersoll Rand 782 RAKC pneumatic air drill. No more chuck key. And with air drills, you never really have a feathered trigger. It's usually stop, go, stop, go. With your powered air drills, the ones that are battery powered, the ones you plug in, you could feather it and it has all kinds of torque and it's very good. With air drills, when they have feather triggers, there's not a lot of torque there, but with this one, there is. And you want a feather trigger if you have good cobalt bits or good spot weld bits, because you don't want to wear them out. And that wraps it up for tour review. Thanks for watching. Once a week, we spend one day on the Nomad. And unfortunately, it's me that has to work on it today. What I'm going to do now is make a little patch for this gap and this gap right here, so it's nice and solid. So I'll fabricate those patches up right now.
When you're filling holes, you always want to do short tacks, and you always want to build your tacks off your last one. This way, you have metal to absorb the heat and not burn through.
Welcome to Treasure Hut. Here we are at Denilo Swap Meet. And the odds of finding a good tool are slim. But when you do, you get a deal.
And I don't want fucking
Used pants, $2. That's a great deal. Makes you wonder how many farts are laid in those things. But it says pant. Does that mean they cut them in half and I get one leg? Here we have a Binks spray gun. And also a skateboarding truck. Looks like I'm in the right area. Wrong era. Today I hit the jackpot. We got a 16-inch 3M sanding block. Perfectly straight. These things don't warp. For $2. Rodak air hammer, made in the USA. This is old school. Well, this guy doesn't have much organizational skills, I can tell you that. Inside that van. Wow, what a slob. Books. But for some reason, I don't think many people around here know how to read. $50 for a 4-ton porta power. Astro line. Never heard of it. Maybe you have? Damn, tools are so rusty, the floor is rusty. Whoa, look at that. Get with the times, bro. Wow. Here we have a Matco long barrel air hammer. $80 for the whole kit. Yay or nay? Yeah, nigga. Yeah, baby. Of course you have my number. That looks like oregano. Yeah. Now this is the purple lady. She makes really cool headbands for babies. And there's our baby.
Yeah,
these are the headbands.
She's a huge eater. Oh, she is? She gets up to eat, yeah. Yeah.